almost a herd. I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, 'cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel dialed, 'cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child.
Howdy, folks. Is Vile Mike here, and with me so far is Elihu. How you doing, man?
I think I'm awake.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm actually awake this morning.
Uh,
I essentially worked 6 12-hour shifts this week.
Damn.
And because I woke up yesterday with a headache, I didn't start work until almost 1 o'clock
Sheesh.
in the
What's up,
afternoon.
What's up, Florida man?
So I pretty much didn't finish my paperwork and everything until almost midnight last night.
Wow.
Well, okay, it was closer to 11:30 than midnight, but still.
At least you finished it up. That's a good thing, man.
But yeah, it was a fun week. And the reason I titled my thing this way is because, you know, when you're working that much and it's just after the holidays, you don't really want to deal with stupid people.
Then stay off of social media.
And well, fortunately, because of my work, I didn't really spend a lot of time on social media. But unfortunately, I work inside Walmarts for my day job.
98% of the people are morons.
So I'm going to tell a story, and I want you guys to judge for yourselves anything about the person. This one happened actually yesterday. Okay. Walmart is famous for putting up displays fairly early, correct?
Correct.
I mean, Christmas displays in October. Oh, hold on. Say your thing, Bird.
Hello, world. It's Bird over 5. Kapla.
Kapla,
And
Bird.
how you doing, man?
Are you feeling any better?
Tired, but yes.
I was listening to your stream, so I had to ask, man.
It's catching up now. A week's worth of missed sleep, basically.
That's my plan for after the stream, is to take a long nap. But to continue my story, now, next month has some stuff that's going on, correct?
Valentine's Day.
Yes, Valentine's Day is one of them. What's another big thing that happens in February?
Mass chocolate candy sale is February 15th.
Okay, other than related to Valentine's Day.
Special election.
I'm talking about that's very commercialized now.
In February, besides Valentine's Day, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank.
How about Black History Month?
Oh, February.
Okay.
Black History.
Now,
never heard of it.
February is Black History Month. So,
sorry, I thought you meant, because you're talking about commercialize. I'm like, how do they commercialize Black History Month?
Well, here's the thing. Now, I do the magazines at Walmart. I don't do the books. Now, the book vendor decided to build a composite display, end cap display, that was half Valentine's Day books, half Black History books. All right. By Black History, I mean they were books that were either about Black people or they were written by Black people. Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, she saw me working in that particular area of the store because the magazines are near the books. So she decided to drag her grandson over to me to complain that the display didn't have enough white people in it.
Okay.
You said, thank you, ma'am. I will take your feedback into account.
Well, of course, I didn't know what she was talking about because I didn't even see the display at the time. I was just there to freaking pack out my magazines and get the fuck out of the store because I was working too much. So I go to the end cap and I take a look at it, and I'm like, it literally says Black History Month on one side and Valentine's Day on the other side.
Does she want more white people in the Valentine's Day section?
No, she wanted more white people in the Black History Month. Because, as she said, once I asked her what the problem was about it was, there are plenty white people involved in Black History Month.
There's your problem right there.
What?
You asked her.
Yeah.
You engaged her.
Yeah.
It's either not your responsibility.
Bird, you are absolutely correct.
Oh.
But when someone walks up to you and says there aren't enough white people, you kind of get confused about what's going on. So you are almost. I was not able to keep my mouth shut.
Was she talking about a Black Panther meeting or something? I'm like, what the hell?
And how you doing, MB?
I've been getting better. Stomach's still bothering me the last few days.
Oh, yeah, your voice is still kind of low.
Yeah, well, it's a lot better than what it was.
Hi, Bob.
So,
hi, Bob.
Now here's the part that really confused me. As I said, when she came over to complain, she dragged her grandson. Her grandson, who kept telling her, "Grandma, please don't make a scene," was obviously not white, or at least not fully white.
The kid had. I laughed because that kid made that comment, which means Grandma this is not the first time.
So, I can't tell you what ethnicity the kid was. I'm really horrible about judging that kind of stuff. Just ask Mrs. Vile. I'm bad at it. But was obviously of a much darker complexion than the grandmother. So I was just like, my brain started just compiling. What was the conversation she was having with her grandson in order to walk over to what she thought was a Walmart employee to complain about the display? And what this kid must be going through for their grandmother to complain about that kind of stuff.
Oy.
You should have seen the scenes my ex-wife used to do in Walmarts. She was that person. Fuck, my ex-wife is one of those Starbucks Karens that lost her shit.
What? Because they mispronounced her name?
No, because she didn't hang. No, because they told her to hang up the phone call. You'd have to watch the YouTube video. I'd have to find it. She keeps getting it taken down. Dude, we didn't even look for it, and I wasn't even anywhere near it. I was in South Carolina, and I was in St. Louis. And I shit you not, my wife was one of her YouTube sites she was watching, and all of a sudden the video pops up, and she goes, "Is this Cindy?" And I was like looking at it. I mean, I hadn't seen her in years, thank God. But I'm looking at it. I'm like, yep, that's my ex-wife. Her family didn't like it too much her family didn't like it too much that I was sharing it out quite regularly.
Well, if you find it, send it to me because I want to see it now.
Yeah, I got to see those too now, dude.
I got it. Okay, here's the thing. I know I got it saved somewhere on my laptop. My laptop did not like saving shit worth a damn in the places I wanted them to. So I got to look for that. Okay. That was like, oh my God, I was in South Carolina. So that was like 5-6 years ago.
Hey, Jordan. Oh, I didn't see not Ryan Johnson in there. Shit.
All right, so that's my first story of a dumb person, or at least someone I consider dumb.
Well, my neighbor's a dumb motherfucker for not keeping his dogs off my property and the one to escalate shit.
I want to find out whose cat is in heat in my building because 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock this morning. Meow, meow, meow. I'm like, okay, there's a cat in heat. Fuck. Windows are closed. I got earplugs in. I can still hear that damn cat.
My cat, one of my cats, Mocha, he likes to go out on the treehouse. That's why I can't tear it down because that's what he likes. So I have to wait till he dies before I'm allowed to tear it down.
It's a big box.
Yeah, it is a big box, but yeah, there's been a few times in the few years where all of a sudden I'll be like hearing, I'll be like looking in my room. I'll be like, is Mocha in here? And I'll go outside and yep, there's some other cat trying to get into his house. And he's like, he ain't having none of it.
All right. So the second story I have, I think is a little bit more blatantly racist, but I'm not exactly sure. I want you guys to be the judge of it. All right. Again, this was a magazine thing.
Wait, you've got to play the intro music. Da dun 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 da dun dun. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, Jordan, everyone considers the YouTube's copyright bots stupid.
Yeah, I got a little story for that after you're done.
All right. Okay. So some of the magazines that I have to pack out are gun magazines. Now, according to the diagrams for the stores, sometimes the sports magazines will be next to the gun magazines. Makes kind of sense because there is such things as sports shooting, correct?
Yes.
All right. So the sports magazine in question was a highlight magazine featuring Michael Jordan.
Okay, one of the greatest athletes.
Literally, the title of the magazine was the GOAT. So it's funny you say that, greatest of all time.
Yeah,
well, he is the greatest of all.
Yeah,
okay.
Jordan, please.
Yeah, let's talk about that. There's a reason why Michael Jordan will always be the greatest because back in the day, he was a phenomena. I mean,
college years. Go back to the college years, man.
Yeah, he was a phenomenon. But remember, people were, even if you didn't watch basketball, you knew who Michael Jordan was. Even if you didn't watch basketball, you still watched the highlights to watch Michael Jordan fly through the air.
Yeah.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I wasn't a Bulls fan back in the 90s, but I was actually a Seattle Supersonics fan just because I was a gamer and I thought the Supersonics sounded like a Sonic the Hedgehog thing. So that's why I liked them. But yeah, Michael Jordan, best or one of the best, if not the best basketball player of all time. But that has nothing to do with it. Well, almost nothing to do with it. Okay,
no, actually, I don't think it's really just but his thing was his personality, his charisma, his way he marketed himself. I mean, you got to remember the shoe was marketed around him. Actually, I still haven't seen that movie about how the Nike. I know I have it. I just haven't got a chance to watch it yet because it's about how they, make the shoe around him because Nike wasn't cool back then.
Well, because the fact that it was Michael Jordan has somewhat to do with it, but not entirely of the story. But because I was putting the sports magazines next to the gun magazines in this particular store, and the area for these magazines was on the lower section of it, so I had to get on my knees to pack out. Now, as I put out the sports magazines first, then I was putting out the gun magazines. And someone noticed me putting a gun magazine next to the Michael Jordan magazine. And he complained to me. What do you think his complaint was about having a Michael Jordan magazine next to a gun magazine?
Pro shooting black people, aren't you?
Pretty much.
You're close, but flip it.
White people shooting white people?
No. He
What?
literally said to me, you shouldn't put that next to the gun mag. You shouldn't put him next to the gun magazine Then they'll know we want to shoot them.
Oh my gosh.
Well, at least he's honest.
I didn't have a chance to respond before he walked away. And all I can tell you is he was a white guy with a mustache, a really big freaking mustache. Actually, kind of impressive, to be honest. But I couldn't tell you what shirt he was wearing, what color pants he was wearing. So I don't know, anything else about him other than he was a white guy with a mustache, and he said to me, "Then they'll know we want to shoot them."
You were just infatuated with that caterpillar.
And I'm like, what does he mean, we?
Oh, you know what he meant.
But
White
I'm like,
power.
is he talking about, is he referring to me being part of that group? Because I was white too.
You're part of it, brother.
You don't get, we're stuck with it, buddy. We got it. We can't get rid of our whiteness.
Oh God! So those are my two magazine. Well, I got one more magazine story this week. But does anyone else have any stories about dealing with stupid people this week, or at least this year?
Just a stupid organization and company.
Well, other than dealing with my neighbor, nothing else. Thankfully, that's been the only stupid thing I had to deal with so far. Although that's one of the reasons, top it all up with everything else. Well, yeah, I'll give you a stupid example. My, not in the last week, but in the last 2 weeks, my dad's a freaking idiot. He waits 3 fucking years to call me. Calls me. I call him a couple more times. I get what I need off my chest. I was like, dude, I was fucking bitch. You did that to me for 3 years. And I told him how I felt about it. And then the next day he got pissy with me and he started doing his, "Oh, that's fine. Don't talk to me again. Don't this." I'm like, God damn it, Dad. Don't be like this again. And finally, he told me, he goes, "Well, I didn't call you for 3 years because you kicked me on the street." I'm like, "You shouldn't have said what you said about my wife." He's like, "Well, I was homeless. I was like, "I knew." He's like, "No shit, you were homeless. That's why you were in my house. So what were you doing disrespecting the head of my house?" So he decided, now he's ghosting me, but it's like, okay, Dad, at least I got your address and email now. It's like, you want to be a big baby. Stupid. Reminds me of my grandmother when she got pissed off.
Don't get pissed off. Better be pissed off than pissed on. Much into that sort of thing.
Ain't that the truth? Well, Bird's in New York, so he's probably got a bunch of stupid people's stories. I'm sure his mom does. I'm sure Mama Pray does.
Thing is, I try to reduce my interactions with people because all interactions are with stupid people.
Well, I've always said this. Well, I always say this. People are like, "What do you think about people?" I said, I assume everybody I meet when I first meet him is a fucking idiot, so I'm not disappointed. It works.
All right, hold on 1 second. But I was just gonna point out my favorite George Carlin quote about, imagine how stupid the average American is, and then realize that half of them are stupider than that.
Yeah, I think I remember that one. God, good old King George Carlin.
All right. So the only other kind of story I have.
Why can't I get the stupid filter why can't I get the stupid filter on YouTube to say, yes, I want to see the Starbucks under 4 minutes, and I want you to put them in oldest to newest.
Filter.
I'm on the filter. It's not giving me the fucking option.
Hey, Jordan. Right. Jordan, your comment about YouTube copyrights. Yeah, January 1st, I uploaded a video. 20 minutes later, I'm seeing about 600 views. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get some views on this. Check back an hour later, I have 9 views and a copyright strike. Disney's claiming copyright strike on Steamboat Willie that the copyright expired. Now I fought that. Now I have 11 views. I'm like, What the hell's going on with these views and these copyright things? 600 to 11?
Well, I still wouldn't have tested the copyright thing because remember Disney's been fighting that copyright thing for a long time.
It expired.
And-
Steamboat Willie expired. The Steamboat Willie version,
But-
that cartoon expired itself.
Okay, but they hold on. They did something recently, like a couple of years ago, with their animation studio, and they used a portion of the Steamboat Willie clip in their like when they're doing the brought to you by Marvel or something during that stuff. They used that in the production logo, meaning that that part of Steamboat Willie is still under copyright.
No, they strike all 7 minutes and 9 seconds of the whole entire cartoon. That cartoon is in the public domain, and Disney's still
I know
for that.
But that small segment that's like 4 seconds long is still copyrighted. I realize the entirety of the cartoon can be reproduced, but you can't share it without still sharing part of the copyright.
How does that work?
They did it intentionally to screw over people who were trying to do exactly what Elihu was doing.
People gotten 20,000 views on theirs. I'm like, what the hell?
And okay, but I want to go to the other thing real quick. This is small. I think I've told you guys how sometimes when I'm doing my magazines, people leave shit inside the magazine area.
Yeah, religious pamphlets.
I usually see religious pamphlets. I see occasional vegan things or pet adoption stuff, that kind of stuff. Either way, I have to throw it away or I have to dispose of it because it's not supposed to be there. And, you know, I'm going to turn on my camera for a second. And you get to see my ugly mug.
Shiny!
Yeah. Like, you know, since Valentine's Day is coming, I've got a Valentine's one, you know, Christian Trick Track. Because I'm in Southern California, I even got a Spanish version of one. Okay, so I found one that I've never come across before that is not a Christian thing, not a PETA, vegan bullshit one. I got an Islamic surah.
That's new.
In Arabic.
That is new. I've never seen one of those before.
Now, I was telling someone about it, and I even pulled it out of my back pocket to show them. And they were like, well, I get the Christian ones, but they really shouldn't be putting the Muslim ones in there. When I asked why, they were just like, well, you know.
You know what?
And I'm like, okay. I didn't know what to say, so I was like,
I know what they were talking about.
it. This was an actual Walmart employee, someone I got to deal with, so I didn't want to go into it.
Oh, I'll give you a stupid one since you mentioned Walmart. First year I was here, first year I got here, I walked into a Walmart, and you know, normally sometimes they have a greeter, sometimes they don't. Well, this one guy was, I don't know for what reason, and did he pick the wrong motherfucker to ask this to. He goes, hey, do you want one of these military hats here? I'm like, nah, that's not my branch. He goes, I was like, no, I didn't serve in those. He goes, no, you don't have to serve in it to wear it. I was thinking, you did not just say that to me. You did not just tell me you expect me to pick up.
What was he trying to say you could wear?
He's trying to say I could wear like Army vet, Navy combat vet.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I get that. Okay.
Okay, so like, okay, for example, I'll show you. Just let me give you an example here. So like, for example, I can wear this because I am a veteran of the Marine Corps, but I did not retire from the Marine Corps. So I would not wear one that says retirement on it. But I do have an Air Force one that says Air Force retired.
I have to interrupt you for a second. Why would anybody wear Marine retired? Marine doesn't retire unless they're dead.
That's why you don't see it. That's why I don't think it exists.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? I'm sorry, dude.
We retire from active service, but I get where you were going there. So I I was like, I said, get away from me, dude. And I walked in, did my shit. I was pissed about it. I drove home and I was like, I'm not letting this slide. So I called up. I said, yeah, I need to speak to the manager. I said, hey, this guy you got over there that's working the hats and stuff. Yeah, he was trying to get me to want to buy the military hats and do false valor. I said, sir, sir, my wife and I are retired vets from 2 fucking wars. I get very pissed off and offended by people who want to try and pull false valor. And I said that was pretty unprofessional the way he tried to sell me on that. I said it's insulting to the veteran community. It's insulting to the active duty community. And I think the guy got fired. I don't know if he got fired, but I know the manager was like, I am so fucking sorry. I mean, he actually said, I am so fucking sorry.
Well, Walmart does usually have a section of the store where you can go in and they have like a board of every military person, active or retired, that's working in that store.
But
I know that it's sometimes important to them, depending on the store.
Well, the way he went, it wasn't that he asked me to buy the hats. It's the fact that he was trying to push me on hats that I didn't serve in branches of. And because they didn't have Marine and Air Force, I guess, there. And I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, I wasn't Navy and I didn't mention I had been in the military. I said, sorry, man, I wasn't Navy. I wasn't Army. He goes, oh, that doesn't matter. You can just wear it and say you did. All
right.
Yeah.
All right. So my next story that happened this week was one of my stores I tend to hit fairly late in the day because there's a certain employee of that store that I don't like to deal with.
Exactly.
So just so you know, I didn't go. I was working in the store between 8 o'clock and midnight, and around 10 o'clock, I decided to take a smoke break. So I went out to the car and smoked a cigarette. Went back inside, and out front, there was suddenly a bunch of sheriff trucks. I'm sorry, and I'm like, what the fuck happened in the 5 minutes that I was out here? So I go inside, and at the area where I was working, the register over had caution tape around it, and it had a whole bunch of merchandise in a cart that I couldn't really tell what it was, but looked like a bunch of boxes. And I'm like, what's going on? And one of the guys goes, oh, someone tried to steal a bunch of stuff at the self-checkout. And he got caught.
I thought you were allowed to do that in California.
Well, not the way this person was doing it. This is the story. Again, this is secondhand, so take everything with a grain of salt. Apparently, this guy went to the Pokemon card section, grabbed every Pokemon card box thing they had off the shelves, put them into a shopping cart, went to self-checkout, and started to scan 100 grand candy bar over and over so that he, would pay the candy bar price for all the Pokemon cards. And some of those Pokemon card boxes are $50, $60 a pop. It came out to $15,000 in Pokemon cards. But of course, because he just kept scanning the candy bar over and over again,
there was this problem.
He tried to pay only $50 for them.
He should have limited to like $1,000. They would have let him go.
So this guy is now if it's over a certain amount, and I can't remember how much it is offhand, maybe someone can Google it for me.
It's 1,000. You can actually get arrested.
Well, not only arrested, it becomes a felony.
Yeah, 1,000.
So this guy is now gonna go to jail for trying to steal fucking Pokemon cards from Walmart.
If it was $550, he would have just got a citation.
But yeah, it was. To me, it was funny because
how he waited so long for the police to show it.
I think Walmart was trying to stop him. I don't know about that.
They
As I said,
physically
I had the story relayed to
restrained
me by
him?
another Walmart employee while I was there.
Yeah,
Gorilla,
gorilla.
they didn't train me train me, so if I forget to scan a few things, it's their fault, not mine.
I mean, it's got to still go to court, so he has to. He might be. He might well get off.
Well, I have no idea what the person looked like. Because I guess they were already arrested and in back of one of those cars, and they're tinted. I didn't see anything.
If
All
they're
I
a white woman,
Be right
they
back.
have a pretty good
Copy.
chance of getting off.
well,
Can I hear you guys?
according to the Walmart person, it was a guy, but they didn't tell me. They didn't give me a description of the guy.
As
So,
a dude, he's probably
yeah,
not
yeah. They
going
just
to.
said it was. They just said it's some guy. But the funniest part is, because of the way the Pokemon cards are in that store, they're part of the pay for scan program. I don't know if you know what that is. It's where technically Walmart doesn't own the merchandise, but they sell it.
Okay.
I know it doesn't really make any sense. The magazines are actually another thing. Walmart doesn't make any money on the magazines until they're sold. But there's several items inside the store that are actually part of this program. They're not packed out by Walmart. They're not updated by Walmart. They're updated by vendors like me, including the Pokemon cards. So I do know that sheriffs were having an issue with the Daniel, it's very similar to a consignment type deal. But Walmart, as I said, calls it pay for scan.
Consignment deal.
So Walmart or the sheriffs were apparently having an issue with the Pokemon cards because Walmart can't say that it was their merchandise. It was this other company's merchandise. But so yeah, that's why they had the caution tape and they had to put everything up because they had to contact another company. But because it was late at night, nearly when the store was closing, it was having further issues. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'll ask about it next time I'm in the store. But yeah, another stupid person trying to steal $15,000 worth of Pokemon cards.
And you heard about that stupid person in Clark County Courthouse, right?
Is that the guy that jumped over the thing to attack the judge?
Yeah, he was being detained, bail, freedom for domestic violence or for violence and assault. So he decided to attack the judge, assault the judge. But he's not getting in charge for assault. He's getting charged for attempted murder because he said he wanted to kill her. He admitted to wanting to kill her, so he's getting charged for attempted murder now. That's a dumb criminal.
Yeah, but
And
he's going
David
to
is
be
absolutely
famous for
correct.
life.
Well, that's a moron. What bird?
He's going to be famous for life.
Uh,
I still just keep reimagining that guy jumping over the desk. It's hilarious.
that was kind of funny, but sorry, Judd. I hope she's doing it better though.
And yeah, David is absolutely
I
correct
wonder-
when it comes to the Pokemon cards and stuff. Yeah, it is MJ Holding that owns it, but they don't do the packing out. They hire a third party company like mine to pack them out. But it's not my company that does it for Pokemon.
I wonder, and I don't know anything about the judge, if it was one of the judges who has let a whole bunch of similar criminals go free in the past, or if this was one of the judges that actually, wasn't easily,
I don't know. The
wasn't
guys, yeah, I know what
easy
you,
on crime.
yeah, I know what you mean. But the guy said, "I was having a bad day. I wanted to kill her."
Well, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time on social media this week.
I saw it on the local news before I saw it on social media. I'm like, seriously, That's right. We're on X.
It's kind of the thing. I can't believe every court thing doesn't end like that. Like, why do people?
Sorry, when you said that, Bird, the first thing that popped into my head was with all these court things that Trump is going through, having Trump try to do that. Jump over to attack the judge.
He can't physically do that. That'd be a miracle
Yeah,
if he
but that's
could.
what popped in my head when poor Bird said that.
I loved, I did a few TikTok videos where I had to educate people on the Constitution because they're, well, morons. My personal favorite is when they try to say, when they say the 13th Amendment doesn't apply, when people say the 13th Amendment doesn't apply to the president. Well, actually, kind of doesn't. It doesn't say it in there.
The 13th
And I
Amendment?
did point out this.
You mean
I said-
14th?
Yeah, the 14th. Sorry, I said the 13th.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Sorry, man. I didn't sleep well last night. But yeah,
Okay.
It was funny when I was reading that. And I said, I read that, and then I read the impeachment clause. And I did point out this. I was like, well, how can the president cause an insurrection when he's still the president of the United States?
It's called a coup. Inside coup.
Well, I would say it's because it's having to do with the transition of power.
But it wasn't transitioned yet.
It was in the process of being transitioned.
And what was going on?
Nah.
Anybody remember?
They were certifying the results.
Okay, I was just checking to see if you knew.
Yeah, as it says in the Constitution, they need to certify the results. People wanted to stop that.
Yeah.
No, kind of like some people wanted to stop the Roe v. Wade thing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go into that right now because it's a whole different can of
Oh,
stupid.
good. I still got South Park Into the Panderverse. I think I'm going to watch that again later today.
Have you watched Not Suitable for Children?
What?
No, I have not seen that one.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to take a look
Yeah.
at it.
I need to. South Park is one of the ones I got to go back and watch because I haven't watched anything in like 7 years of South Park.
Well, this one, I mean, I'm not like dying to watch any of it. It was just the simple fact that, the shit was so, it was just like too good not to watch. I was like, I hadn't watched probably South Park in like 15, 20 years, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to watch this one.
You got no cred.
Sorry, man.
That's reference to new South Park.
Well, I will say the only thing I ended up watching, or I watched two things the entire freaking week. Outside of listening to my podcast, which I do when I'm working. The two things I watched was the first episode of Monarch. And because when I was reading the description of what Monarch was, and they said it takes place after Godzilla, but before.
No, it takes place
Godzilla
after
versus
King Kong.
After
After Kong and after the first Godzilla movie.
Yeah, after G-Day.
Yeah, so but it takes place before the Destroy All Monsters or King of the Monsters or whatnot, and before Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah,
Yes.
right after San Francisco was destroyed.
Yeah,
So,
it literally takes place,
it
what,
went-
Eli, a year after? The year after G-Day?
Yeah, 2018.
No, 15, I thought.
15, sorry, yeah, 15, because Salesforce was started in 18, sorry.
Yeah, so basically, over the weekend, I rewatched Kong Skull Island, and I think on Tuesday or so, I rewatched the original Godzilla 2014 movie, just so I would remember have those events fresh in my mind for the show. But as I said, I only watched the first episode because I had no freaking time. I tried watching the second episode a couple of times, but fell asleep every time.
Let's see, what did I watch this week? I watched For All Mankind, the latest episode. I'm caught up on Monarch, and I started watching Atlantis, so I'm 6 episodes in. And remember how I was talking about before and a few other ones where I said this was my 3rd time going through with Stargate SG-1. I said, you know what? I'm going to stick with just the pilot to season 8. And I'm actually, when I got to watching the pilot of Atlantis, I'm like, this is actually a nice transition. It's a really nice, smooth transition. You know, you have Dr. Jackson, you have General O'Neill. And by the way, when you heard at the very end of Stargate SG-1 at the very season final of season 8, and when they're out there fishing with Carter and everything, and what he says is, you got to get packing done. That means she was transferring out of the SGC, because the reason why they couldn't be together is not because they were both in the military. It was because he was her direct supervisor and her direct chain of command. So, for example, and I'll give you an example of this. When I worked in my squadron at the 48th Intel, well, we had a master sergeant. She worked in our squadron. Her husband was a senior master sergeant in another unit. He got promoted to chief, and he was going to become he was getting what they call locally transferred. We call PCA, and he came over to be the chief of the 48th Intel Squadron. Well, obviously, she couldn't be in there. So what they did was they transferred her to the group level. So she was still in the same building with us. They just transferred to a position at the group level that took him out of the direct chain of command. So she was able to do that. I mean, that's how it works in a mill-to-mill system. You just can't be in the person's direct chain of command.
Yeah, but then they like right after that promote him to Stargate or General Hammond's position.
Yeah, I believe so.
That would make him again directly her superior, even if they're in Atlantis.
No, it wouldn't. No, actually, that wouldn't necessarily. That's a totally different command. It doesn't put him in. It doesn't actually negate it, because while he's in charge of the whole thing, he is not directly. Okay, you have to understand the combatant commanders, the things like that. Those get a little when you get those higher up. That's one thing, but. Just because he's in charge of a home world security thing, he's in charge of administrative side. He's actually got no direct command authority like you would think.
Well, I thought he wasn't at home world security yet. He was just in charge of Stargate Command.
He was in charge of Stargate Command at the end of that. Because if you get to season 9, she had transferred to another department, and O'Neill got promoted to Major General, and he moved up to that. But if she was just because she was part of SG-1, that was the next general. The next general was her direct chain of command, not General Hammond. Yeah, I know it gets complicated when you get up there in those levels. That's why I stayed enlisted. It was simpler. But I really like the transition. I also caught off. This is my second time going through with this. And so we get Major Shepard, and I got to admit, I did not really. I knew he would. I mean, you see him through the series that he's good with numbers. I mean, he's a smart guy. I mean, he even says he supplies his Rodney. He says he took the what do you call that test? The one that talks about how smart you are. The really prestigious one.
Mensa.
Yes, because
Okay,
Rodney mentions he.
Mensa is an organization that requires you to be a genius to join. That's
Oh.
all it is. All you have to do is take an IQ test that says you're above 140 IQ, and Mensa will allow you to join.
So I thought
and then Mensa said, and then in that one episode, I don't remember what it was, but you got Rodney, and you got the Major, and he says something, and he mentions the M7. He says, "Yeah, I took the test." He goes, "So you remember when we get together?" He goes, "No, I didn't join. I just took the test." And he passed the test. I believe it was he said, "Yeah, I passed the test. I just didn't join." Probably just a way of saying, "Hey, I could do it, but I don't have to."
I'll be honest with you. Mensa is a stupid organization to begin with, and I did have the opportunity to join, and I refused because, again, I think the organization is stupid. I couldn't tell you exactly why, other than it's like a bunch of smart people just talking about how, oh, we are smart.
I was watching a
I
documentary.
am so smart. SMRT.
I was watching a documentary on Netflix. It was called After Porn, and it had several porn stars, and actually several I had seen. And one of them actually had said, Memsa would not, she had to fight to get in there because even though she passed the test, they didn't want to put her name to it because she was a former porn star. So she had to fight that discrimination. So she had to fight that discrimination. It's like, hey, I'm a smart person. Yeah, I did porn, but I'm not. But you know what? I still passed your damn test.
Sounds like April O'Neil.
I will tell you this though: there are plenty of people who have an IQ over 140 that are still fairly stupid people, myself included.
Well, I called
the ability to speak does not mean intelligence.
One of the things I've always said is you have what I would call somebody book smart, brain dumb, which means, yeah, you can do all the book stuff, but when it comes to practical application, you're terrible at it. And
it's the whole book smart versus street smart.
Okay, that's another way I put it. And I changed it over the years. I called it book smart, brain dumb. And that seemed to have stuck with me for a while. But yeah, basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of times, I got to be honest.
It's one of the reasons why in like D&D, they have separate stats for intelligence and wisdom.
Yes. Same with a lot of other.
Yeah. Because you're smart does not necessarily mean you know how to apply that with intelligence.
Well, wasn't that what he said? I think you would know the difference between knowledge and wisdom. But you guys don't remember Attack of the Clones?
Yeah, the ability to speak does not mean intelligence.
No, that was the Phantom Menace.
That was the Phantom Menace.
Sorry.
He's talking about the diner dude.
Yes.
Oh, the big old fish guy.
Yeah, was it Drex? Yeah, something like that. Look, man, it's been
Dex.
a long.
I think it was Dex.
Dex.
But I know he has the last name. I don't remember what it is.
Jeter.
Someone go to Wikipedia.
Dex Jeter, I think. It was Dex Jeter.
Are you thinking of a baseball player, Derek Jeter?
Any other dumb people stories that anyone wants to say or in the chat?
Okay, yeah, Dex just. I guess you would say, I always pronounce it Jeter, but let's be honest. Star Wars names sometimes are a pain in the ass to pronounce.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Dexter Jet. Almost sounds like they're trying to say Chester. Jettster.
Oh, crap. I'm going to look it up.
I don't know. I just called him Jeter.
That's why I said Derek. I think about Derek Jeter, baseball player.
Oh, I know who you're talking about there.
Okay, it looks to me like it's Dexter Jettster.
Jettster?
You're probably spelling it better than I am. You're probably sounding it better than I am.
Jettster. So it's Jettster. Dexter Jettster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, in all honesty, I like the fact that Obi-Wan had that character to go to, but I don't know about the 50s diner on top of a building thing was, I don't know. It still seemed weird to me.
I don't know. I thought it fit. Their version of a 50s diner. Probably from the old Republic, probably from for the reformification era. But I really liked how you see how all these characters go. You see Elizabeth Weir. She's kind of struggling with this as a leader. And I like how they did that. She's a strong leader, but this is a whole new ball game for her. And they show that, hey, she's not always going to get it right. One of the advantages I've noticed too is they had, with their 8 years of knowing about planets and the ancients and things like that, they have, unlike in SG1, they have a leg up on a lot of that. And these people pretty much know how to use the Stargates. They've been using them quite regularly. And I got to admit, man, a Stargate in space is really fucking cool.
The Supergate was kind of dumb.
Okay, well,
No, I like the idea of the Supergate, how they did it.
I'm not talking about the Ori story.
You're just talking about the gates in space that Atlantis had
gates.
because,
Yeah, because on the race home planet, they have it in space, which makes sense. Why would you put it on the planet?
Yeah, I still like the little puddle jumpers.
Oh, what was
Well,
it? I love that, right? Yeah, when I watched that episode with Rodney in it in SG1, and he called it gate something one. I'm like, dude, it's a puddle jumper. It's like, I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna get to that, and then they get to it's like puddle jumper one. And then you have Lieutenant Four, where he's saying we should name this planet, and he says something, Atlantia. He's like, I thought we agreed you weren't going to name things.
Yeah.
well,
that was so good.
personally, I love the fact that they brought it back several times in different timelines and stuff. How Rodney always tries to call it Gate Ship.
Yeah.
Like when they did when they went back in time to the pyramids to steal the ZPM.
Yeah.
He gets them to call the time ship thing, the puddle jumper that goes through time, Gate Ship 1 again.
Oh, you know how Rodney, you know how those Canadians are.
David needs more subscribers on his YouTube. I'm self-promoting him. Yeah, David, he has a YouTube channel. He needs more subscribers. He has under 5,000.
So another thing,
I have under 500. Fuck him.
Hey, another thing you notice very early on is Rodney is, of course, an arrogant motherfucker. He really shows early on he is willing to sacrifice himself. And very few of you find out, okay, he's not just comic relief. He's actually bringing something to the table other than just annoyance science and be the comic relief.
Yeah.
One of the things I do like about Rodney is he had a very extreme character growth by the time he became a regular on Atlantis. Because if you rewatch his first episode when he was back in SG1,
yeah,
he's kind of a misogynist.
Yes.
And by the time Atlantis comes around, he's basically realized he was wrong about something and that women can be smarter than him, and it's not a bad thing. Not just Carter. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I thought it was interesting the episode I got to, because the last episode I saw was with this was the one where the Ephesians leave Atlantis to go to the island, go to the mainland, because people were getting their missions were getting compromised, and there's a trust issue, and the sergeant is well, the way he goes about it is he's a dick in a lot of ways, and I understand that to a point. But it turns out he was right. It was her. It was her. It was we just didn't know why.
Yeah.
It's like he picked that.
But I also like the fact that the leader of the Athosians, big, tall, scary looking guy that's usually a villain.
Ronan.
Even he's like, look, I get the fact that we're going to be friends, but we're still going to go to the mainland because even then, it's still better for us because we're farmers.
Actually, it makes sense for them because they're not used to living like that. It's kind of like, I know this isn't a popular movie with a lot of people, but I did enjoy it. Waterworld, where they're when they get on the land and it's like they're not used to. He goes at the end. He goes, the land doesn't move well, and the girl goes, it's dry land sickness. It'll go away. But it makes sense if your entire life is outside and in that open area. Could you imagine a more uncomfortable play? And they play it out real well in the story, where it's like the kid's like, "Do you miss the wind?" You hear the subtle things. That's like once they found out there was land, it's like, "Hey, boom, that's where we want to go." And
one of the things that I have always thought was funny about that movie was there should have been a lot more dry land than there actually was.
Oh, I know.
Because they're the excuse of the all the ice caps are depending on which source you go to, they said that the Earth was hit by a water or a comet containing mostly water, and they try to say that that's what melted the ice caps and that's what drowned everything. But I'm like, for a comet to have that much water, even after the ice caps had melted.
And
let's throw the bone. Let's say also the tectonic plates settled, meaning that the mantle cooled and the Earth's diameter actually contracted as well. The size of the comet to bring that much water would have obliterated the entire planet, period.
Yeah, if a comet made of nothing but ice, frozen ice, basically a huge ice ball in space coming at us, 80% of that would have been melted with the heat and the friction coming into the Earth's atmosphere. Or hello?
Well, I'm not even talking about that. The size of the comet needed would have been about half the size of the moon.
Well, yeah, that would have done by Earth, by life.
And yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I understood why they'd want to be out there. And then I got to the next episode and I was getting tired. I fell asleep because I was finally able to go to sleep. But yeah, good stuff. By the way, the guy you're talking about, the tall guy, he's I don't know his name, but he's one of those character actors you see pop up everywhere. And
yeah, as I said, he plays a lot of villains.
Well, he's going to be this isn't a spoiler per se, but he is in Monarch.
All right, so I'm going to IMDb real quick because I want to see if I can figure out his name.
I've drawn a blank.
He was also in what was that show I was watching? Turn, with the spies for the Civil War. He was in that.
Never heard of it.
He was in Sanctuary with the woman who played Samantha Carter.
Amanda Tapping.
Yeah, he was in that.
I know the face.
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, he played two particular characters in that.
Okay, his name is, I'm going to butcher this last name, Christopher Heyerdahl.
Maybe Heyerdahl.
It's Heyerdahl.
Not a clue.
Gesundheit.
Okay, but here's the thing. He also played the Todd Wraith, or the Wraith they called Todd. So he also played a villain in that same show.
Is that the one that was locked in the jail?
Yeah, the Wraith that became somewhat friends with Shepard.
Ah,
so yeah.
Let's shake on it. Just a little Wraith humor.
So he play. I like the fact that now he plays. He's now like the in my mind, depending on how many roles he played in Stargate, he's going to be the Jeffrey Combs of Stargate.
Hey, Jeffrey Combs is coming to this. Combs is coming to the Star Trek convention in March.
Hey, that would not be that's not a bad place to be at.
I plan on going to that.
No, I meant being up there with he could be the Stargate of Jeffrey Combs. I'm like, that's not a bad place to be.
I mean, he's only charging $40 for an autograph. I'm like, really? Okay.
I didn't realize this either. SG1 or Atlantis went 20 episodes each season, ending at 100. Oh, here's something.
Have you read any of the? Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say was, what's really annoying is when I saw it and I saw Dr. Beckett, I'm like, oh shit. Because I was like, and then I was thinking about the doctor who died in SG1, and I'm like, Then I remember he's going to die at some point. I'm like, why do they keep killing off the doctor?
Hey, Picardo didn't play a doctor, at least. Okay.
Oh yeah, he was in Hell on Wheels too. Let's see, what did he play in? Dude, his television.
This guy's been in everything.
This guy started out his TV role in 21 Jump Street.
With Depp and Greco?
God damn.
Wow.
I don't know if Yvette's listening, but he played Alistair in Supernatural.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually did play in SG-1 as well. Played in Andromeda. He played.
Yeah,
By the way,
played
Mike.
He played three characters in Atlantis.
By the way, Mike, he's only referred to as Crowley. Okay.
He played three characters in Atlantis. Todd Hailing, and it says male Wraith. So I'm assuming that might have been another one. So it looks to me like he played two Wraiths.
I mean, how many Star Trek actors were in actually Stargate? You got
well, he also counts as a Star Trek. Hold on. He also counts as a Star Trek actor because he was in Stargate or Star Trek. Hold on, I got to go back. He was in Star Trek Discovery.
I thought Discovery doesn't count.
I'm not counting.
Okay, I count Star Trek Discovery as a Star Trek show. I don't care what other people say.
That's okay. You're still wrong.
STD. Gee, what an issue you come up with, guys.
Oh, he played Zor-El in Smallville.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and Sanctuary, the show I was talking about, the head of Amanda Tapping in it. He played two characters, John Druitt and the Bigfoot character. That was his big one, was the Bigfoot character. John Druitt was the ex-husband. And I remember him in Hell on Wheels. He was a Swede. Oh, maybe that's what I meant to say instead of the other show I was talking about. Yeah, this guy, he's one of those character actors that just, he finds work and he finds work. Yeah, like I said, he's in Monarch Legacy of Monsters. So this guy gets around. He reminds me of another guy. God, I got to think of that. Oh, I know what I can look up for this.
You mean another character actor like Clint Howard?
No, he reminds me of Clancy Brown sometimes in some of the roles he takes.
Or Greg Grunberg.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of this other guy though. I got to think. Damn it! Now I can't think of the show I was going to look up.
I think the character actors is Clint Howard, Greg Grunberg. These guys just pop up.
Kindred, the Embraced.
Sean Gunn.
Yeah, Kindred, the Embraced. The reason I know about this show is because I used to play. This was based off the White Wolf role-playing game, Vampire the Masquerade, which I was playing. It's still my favorite game to play.
You were the clowns, weren't you?
Huh?
You were the clown.
Clown?
Yeah, the clown, the clown ones, right?
No, I was not. No, I was not Mokavian.
Oh, okay.
Now I played three different types of vampires when I played that game. I played a gangrel. Actually, I played a gangrel. I played. Oh God, I can't remember the other one. And I played my character. I was really trying to express. I played a daughter of cacophony, which meant I actually played a female socialite. I created the character specifically to be a socialite and to actually have a haven and be like more of a mediator versus a fighter.
I haven't played that in 25 years, man.
What was this guy's name? What is this damn dude's name? I'll bet it's this one guy. No, it's not that guy.
You know, it's surprising nobody's talked about Percy Jackson.
Brian Earl Thompson.
Brian Earl Thompson?
Brian Thompson. That's the guy. This guy has been like in everything I've just seen him pop up in. Yeah, okay. Nice night for a walk. The very first scene when Terminator. He's one of the 3 guys who gets killed.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. But what's funny is I typed in Ryan Thompson to Google, and the first thing that comes up is a pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
No. Not Ryan.
Brian. Yeah, Ryan
he also,
Johnson.
if it's the guy I think you're talking about, didn't he also play Shao Kahn in one of the Mortal Kombat movies? Yeah.
Yes, he did. Annihilation. God, that movie.
Yeah, he's another one of those guys
he was in Star Trek Generations too as a Klingon helmsman.
Yeah, he was in Star Trek a bunch of times. I think he played a Romulan too.
Yep, I remember that. Let's see. Yeah, I was looking at his filmography. Yeah, he played in Star Trek The Next Generation as Klingon Officer Klang.
Maybe we can get one of the females to breastfeed you.
Yes, that was him. That was him.
Yeah, that was him.
Now that you said it, yep, that was him. Yeah, this guy.
What's funny is, did anyone read the Star Trek?
He was in the Orville too.
No, did anyone else here read the Star Trek Gorkin novels?
No.
No, I did.
His character becomes the captain of the IKS Gorkin, like basically the Enterprise of the Klingon fleet. And it was a short-lived book series, but it was kind of funny to see that his character is the one that's in command.
Yeah, he's 64 years old. Hasn't done it. Doesn't have anything on here since 01. Or not 01, sorry, 21. It's not like he doesn't have a hell of a film career. And but yeah, it's like this guy would just like pop up on. It's like he was one of those actors that just pops up on your show one day, and you're like, I know that guy. You know we all know what I'm talking about.
Oh, and Keith DiCandido is the one who wrote the original Klingon Star Trek Gorkin books. So I might have to tag him in there. He's one of 2 Star Trek authors that actually follow me on Twitter, and I follow them.
Well, that's cool beans.
Yeah, I did a post a while back about him. I literally discovered a Command and Conquer book at one of the bookstores I do business with.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just made a post saying, Keith, why didn't you tell me you did a Command and Conquer book? And he just goes, 1.
My response was, why didn't you look it up?
I didn't know they did novelizations for that series, and apparently they only did 1 book because it didn't do well.
Yeah, shit happens.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. It was actually a pretty good book, especially like the first 4 chapters were really well done, in my opinion.
What was that? There was a Klingon book series I always wanted to read. It was called the IKS something. Or the
IKS Gorkin. That's the book series I'm talking about.
1, number 1.
No, I thought they made several books in that series.
I was talking about Command and Conquer. For the IKS Gorkin, they did like 4 or 5 or something like that.
Sorry, man, it's been a long time. I was actually interested in those books. I always wanted to know more about the Klingons.
Well, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Brian Thompson's character is the captain of the IKS Gorkin.
Well, you know the Klingons are very good singers.
Yeah, when they're singing Klingon opera.
Okay, so
how the hell could you not just let the Klingons do Klingon opera and you make them be a boy band. Like they
They
would know,
did.
like they
These-
would know any boy band fucking songs.
Well, all we ever experienced was opera. Okay. Well, they did a alternate version of that song, but it was an opera version. Then they had the boy band version, and they decided to air the boy band version. There is a deleted scene out there with the opera version. They're singing opera. There's a version out
Okay.
there. Terry
So,
released it.
NB, just for you, there
Yo.
is 4 books in the series total.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now.
Looks like all of them are written by Keith DeCandido. 2 of them are under the banner of IKS Gorkin,
Yeah.
and 2 of them are under the title of Klingon Empire.
Be right back.
Well, that's probably why I
So
was.
Star
that's
Trek
probably why
IKS
I was-
Gorkin and Star Trek Klingon Empire. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's probably why I was thrown off when you were saying the Gorkin thing, because I was thinking, and then I thought IKS, but I couldn't remember the last part of it because I remember it, as the IKS Gorkin. When it
So
first
there's
came
4
out.
books. The first one is A Good Day to Die, Honor Bound, Enemy Territory, and A Burning House. And they were from 2003 to 2008.
Yeah, I had a lot of shit going on at that time. Yeah, that's 2003. Yeah, I just joined the Air Force, and let's just say things weren't going. It'd be another 3 years before I filed for. It'd be another 2 years before almost 2.5, 3 years before I filed for divorce. So I wasn't exactly having time to read.
Well,
And at that time I was still getting caught up on the Star Wars EU because I only got into the Star Wars EU in 1997.
Well,
Or,
NB,
sorry,
if I
1993.
come across any when I'm, because I usually try to, I have a bunch of Star Trek books on the website, on the eBay store.
Yeah,
If I come across any of the Star Trek Klingon books, I will let you know.
cool beans, man. Appreciate it.
But,
I got one
but I'll
here.
also let Berta Prey know. I'm also going to let Berta Prey know, and I'll let you guys fight over them.
I'll be honest. I'm not going to fight. I don't care about the
I'm going to give this a read. Probably in the next few weeks, I'm going to start reading this.
I read
I never read
Star
one.
Trek Klingon or something.
I never
back
read
in the
this,
day.
so I figured, fuck it.
Okay. I actually just sold a bunch of Aliens books and toys. Not Predator, Aliens vs. Predator, just the original Aliens books.
Yeah.
Before Christmas. Someone bought 2 of the sets I had, plus 5 of the books. I got 1 set with some books left.
Speaking of Predator, did any guys watch Prey?
I did watch Prey. I did enjoy it too.
I very much enjoyed it. Now, I will agree, there was one criticism when I was talking, because Orange Hat and I did a review on it together, and the one thing we did agree on is, okay, the one part there, everything was done, but once that Predator slammed her ass to the ground, that should have been the end of it. But, that was the one suspense of disbelief you had to go with.
Well, let's be fair. When it comes to movies, people get thrown and slammed in things that should have killed them that never do.
I know. That's why I was like, come on, man.
Look at Star Wars. Look at Star Wars. You get stabbed by a lightsaber, you survive.
No, I'm not even talking about that, Elihu. I'm talking about the amount of head trauma and neck trauma someone gets from being thrown across a room and slammed into a wall should kill almost anybody, yet it's always a survivable thing in movies.
Not in the Flash. Batman got slammed really hard and he died. Remember?
But I'm saying usually in movies, that's what happens. It's considered a non-lethal wound in movies. It's a trope.
Yeah.
Bird doesn't fight. He just takes a bat lift to someone's face and it's over.
Well, remember how in okay, let's take the trope. I mean, that's what Last Action Hero was about, because it's like, we got to get him back after he gets shot. It's like, we got to get back in the movie where this won't be anything more than a flesh wound. Because he gets back, because of course the hero didn't die back then. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. I know it didn't do too well, but come on. It was just so like hitting every stereotype. I think it was just a little ahead of its time.
Rubber baby buggy bumper.
So,
Yeah, that I liked Last Action Hero. I thought that Arnold did a good job parodying himself.
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty good. I would say, kind of talking about Atlantis again. Like I said, this is my second time going around it, so I don't have everything memorized or as well. But I was like, damn.
Last Action Heroes. That's a movie where the kid is like, oh, you starred in Terminator or something.
Yes.
And there was a version of Terminator where it was
Stallone.
Stallone, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's his best work.
Like he was great in the Stallone.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about? This is his best movie. No, you were supposed to be in it. Oh, you were in a movie? Yes, it's called The Girl of My Dreams. It starred you.
And then he tried to say, well, why are all phone numbers have 555 in them?
That's where we have area
That's what area codes are for.
Yeah, he's like, how many? He's like, yeah, I love that. He's like, what's the number here? 555. So, and what's your number? 555. So, and he's like, and so that means there's only what he's saying 9,000, or there's only like 9,000 something numbers that can have 555. And he's like, how many people live in the LA? 8 or 9 million. That's why we have area codes. He's like, ah.
Crap, now you're gonna make me do something.
I wonder if they still do. Did they still do the 555 thing anymore in movies, or is that
yes?
true?
555 is mandatory in movies, and so is the prefix 1.
Or another trope. The what are they called? The Marlowe cigarettes. The ones the Smoky Man. Marley cigarettes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the generic brand they use on the shows.
Like, trust me, you do not want to smoke one of those fake cigarettes. They are disgusting. They made me cough like hell.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, aren't they herbal?
Yeah, I hated that. I didn't like the taste of them. It was kind of harsh on my chest. So what I did was I actually snuck my own little real cigarette in the scene.
Well, the smoking, man. Funny thing.
Because of that, I had to do the math real quick. Sorry.
Okay.
With the number of area codes possible and the number of 4-digit end pieces, the number of 555 numbers possible in its entirety is 10 million.
There's still plenty left.
Not if it's the entire country.
Well, they were talking about just LA, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah. Well, remember when we thought we'd never need more than a meg of RAM or a meg of
Yeah, NB. I recently found one of my old external hard drives, the USB ones you can plug in.
Yeah.
The entirety of the external hard drive is 1 gigabyte.
Wow.
I remember getting it thinking, wow, this was so much memory. And now I'm using a laptop that has 100 gigabytes of memory, and I've got it nearly full.
Wow.
Yeah. Back in the day when they said, why would you need more than a few megs of memory?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you won't need that much memory. You won't need more memory than this. You won't need more processing speed than this. Yeah, you knew nothing, Jon Snow. I don't even like that show, but I do like the reference.
I never saw the last season.
Okay, so this is how it played out for me. I watched like the first 7 episodes when I was like, and then I was like, this is boring. So I didn't watch it at all. Everybody was always talking about it. I didn't care. And then I found out the season final came out. I was like, I have HBO Max. I'll just freaking, or HBO. I am not going to call it Max. Okay. I'm not going to do it. Not fucking doing it. I'll call it HBO. I'll call it HBO Max, but I am not calling it Max. Fuck that. So, I decided, okay, I'll watch this series. I had nothing better going on. This is during, what was it? During the pandemic, I think. So I was like, fuck it. And I remember binge watching it. And I'm like, I really don't get what everybody's thing with the show is, but my daughter really liked it. And then I get to the second to last episode, and I'm caught up to before the season final. And I get to that last episode, I'm like, oh boy, I have a feeling a lot of diehard fans are going to be pissed by this final. Man, I did not know how well I was right on that one.
It got better after season 2, but I'm like, okay, season 7, this is it. Nope, doesn't need a season 8.
But yeah, I got to that last one. I was just kind of like, shelter, the animal shelter, the SPCA that we used to board our dogs at and where we adopted our dogs, actually had put up on the sign, make the right choices, don't do Game of Thrones. Or something to that effect. I was like, wow, they were that pissed about it. I heard so many people coming to work that next day just pissed off the fuck. The last time I heard anybody pissed off like that was when one of the characters got killed from the 100. But for totally different reasons. But yeah, I would say this. I haven't heard people disappointed in an ending like that since Lost.
I've never seen that
100. Show. I don't think 100 ever came close to Game of Thrones.
Oh no, it was on the CW. So the only reason I watched it, it was a good show for the first 5 seasons.
Yeah, I watched it, but it wasn't on the same level as Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's why I corrected that. And I said, okay, maybe, I corrected that. But the ending was kind of like what people were saying about Lost. They were just pissed at it. And I wasn't happy with my wife and I when we finished the 100 season 5. We said, if they screw up these next 2 seasons, we're just stopping at season 5. Well, they screwed up the next 2 seasons, and all we have is seasons 1 through 5.
All right. Yeah, we were talking about memory, so I decided to go back a little bit to do some math. All right. I just took a picture of myself using my cell phone. Okay. At the highest resolutions possible. The memory the memory usage of that picture is 7.5 megabytes. Okay. My first computer was an Amiga with a 256 kilobyte hard drive.
My first computer.
That means that one picture would have filled up 1, 2, 3, 4 times almost 8. So let's round it up to 8. 32 of my original computers.
Makes me wonder what it would take to have put. Well, you wouldn't even admit. My first computer I was on was a Commodore 64.
Yeah, I remember those monochrome screens.
The Amiga I had was one step above a Commodore 64, and it was compatible with a lot of the stuff made for the C64.
And the reality is, he didn't have full use of all that memory. So we're going a hell of a lot more than 8 or however many computers you think it would be.
Remember the 3.5?
Was saying he had a VIC-20 with a cassette tape drive. Yeah. One of the drives I installed on my old Amiga was a tape deck drive just so I could play certain video games.
Dude, I remember the 4.5-inch floppy disk, okay?
Yeah. But it's just like, when you think about it, the fact that the picture I just took with the supercomputer in my pocket.
My first Star Trek game I played was text-based.
I didn't get around to playing a Star Trek game until the Sega Genesis.
That's if you were on computers.
Gorilla.
They were few and far between.
Gorilla, to answer your question, I have no idea when I'll be doing Twilight Zone again. I'm sorry. It's not something I'm worried about. I got to deal with my personal issues first.
Otherwise, I would have asked him the first thing when he popped up. Gotta let him heal and rest, man. Especially rest. The key word is rest. 5 1/4 floppies that were actually floppies before 2.5. Yeah, sorry, I meant 5 1/4, not 4.
Yep, I remember those.
Yeah, I think it was the small ones.
We're getting old, guys.
Remember laser discs?
I never had one, man. They were fucking expensive.
Elihu, I literally gave a Laserdisc movie to Caddy for Christmas. She's a huge Phantom of the Opera fan, so I gave her the Robert Englund Phantom of the Opera on Laserdisc. She's not going to watch it. She's going to use it as a display piece, but and I know I sold another Laserdisc over the Christmas season. I just can't remember which one offhand.
My first Laserdisc was Star Trek Generations.
And Gorilla, I hope I don't mean to come out as anything but on that. I was just wanted to be honest with you. I am still so far away from worrying about Twilight Zone. I wish it was quicker. I wish I was closer to it. And I could say, oh, next week. But the reality is, I'm not going to be ready for next week or the week after that. Who knows? Who knows what happens beyond 2 weeks out? Maybe I'll be ready then. But I'd say we're at least a week out. And I really don't prepare beyond a week or so because I don't want to make promises I can't keep. So if I don't feel that I'll be there a week from now, then I just say don't worry about it. And I don't want to bring anyone's hopes up. That's all. I certainly didn't want it to come down on you or anything. I do appreciate you asking. I just that's my way of answering, and I hope you don't take it personally. Thank you though for asking.
He says it's okay. Was just wondering.
I get it, and I'm sorry. I feel like I answered like an a-hole the first time. So if I did, I'm sorry.
It's just the Kurogan in you, man.
Yeah.
It's not the Queens, it's the Kurogan.
God, I forgot how much I posted on Facebook back in the day.
Yeah, I get more notifications for stuff I used to post on Facebook than I get notifications for anything else.
I gave up on that site years ago.
I think the only things I post to Facebook nowadays are notifications for the CNA stream, and pictures of my kids. That's it.
Pretty much, I'm on there for family. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, my family's
I'm on there for the eBay store and family. That's it. I don't care about anything else. I don't use it for social media, that kind of stuff.
Well, I have a couple other. I do use it for social media in some areas because I'm part of a few veteran sites and I'm part of a couple of homeschool sites.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm a part of a few parenting groups, but I'm rarely in there nowadays.
Well, I don't have to get in there much because my wife pretty much is always in there. But I do check it occasionally. There's some good stuff. But geez, Louise, God dang that.
Usually when I'm checking Facebook, it's because Mrs. Vile tagged me in something.
Yeah.
Then I go through and it's like, oh, a bunch of people have notifications, so I read a bunch of them and then I don't check again for at least a week.
My wife uses it a lot still. She doesn't do Twitter or any of that. She's on Twitter, but it's really only me who she really ever talks to.
I thought it was called X now.
No, it's Twitter. I don't care what anyone else says.
I don't give a fuck what it's called. I'm sorry.
My first computer was a Trash 80 with a cassette drive. Yeah. I actually had a Trash 80 at one point. And yes, I know it's TSR or whatever 80, but it's a Trash 80. Everyone knows it's a Trash 80.
That's what it's called, Trash 80. It's what it's always been called. Since I can remember, nobody ever referred it to that way. It was always Trash 80. Why we got to complicate? Why do people got to complicate shit? Can I filter this? Can I filter this by videos? Filtering used to be so much easier back in the day. So what's Pickles been up to? Anybody talk to him?
Florida man has been Florida man.
No, I didn't see him on the news.
Watch out. Says need 2 more times to show up.
All right. So what else should we talk about since we're not doing any more of the dumb people stories?
Well, you're caught up on For All Mankind, right?
No, I didn't watch any of the latest episodes. So I think I'm only one episode behind right now because I tried to watch Monarch. But as I said, I watched the first episode of Monarch and fell asleep during the second episode 3 times this week.
So, all right. Well,
I did not get a chance to watch the last episode. I'm not caught up on Monarch.
All right. Yeah, I was 2 episodes behind until Saturday myself. I was actually 2 episodes behind on Monarch and For All Mankind. Because of my fucking neighbor's bullshit.
Try to finish off For All Mankind by next week. Lyle.
Yeah.
The final episode. It's next Friday.
Well, because of the way I try to watch stuff, I'm going to try to watch Monarch. But once again, I have like almost 60 hours next week. So I'm going to try to work 10-hour days so I don't have to work Saturday. And we'll see what happens.
Man, there's this job I'm thinking about applying. I was thinking about applying to. It's over at the Hershey factory. It's it's basically janitorial service, but the pay's like $17.50 an hour, which is pretty damn good for that. But the best part is I would love the hours. They're 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. and it's a 4 on, 3 off, 3 on, 4 off kind of shift. And then it says in parentheses, please be flexible with holidays. And I'm like, fuck holidays, man. Sign my ass up.
Extra pay.
No. That schedule was that in a way is what we would call a Panama schedule back in the military.
Hola, Mr. Cardenas.
Yeah, I was about to say, everybody got to say hi to Mrs. Vile.
Hey, Mrs. Vile. But what we used
Good morning, Mrs. Vile.
What we used to do is what was called a 3-2-2-3. And it was a great schedule. And I mean, basically you worked 15 days out of the month, 15 to 17 days. Yeah, there were 12-hour days, but you got 2 days off. And then you would get Next time you go in for 2 days, get 3 days off, man. Get a day to recover. I mean,
it's kind of like working a 24, 12, 24 day off, and you get an 8 day off.
not as intense, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was such a sweet schedule that a lot of times most of us wouldn't take vacation time, and none of us worried about the holiday time because it's like, man, big deal, man. I only worked 15 days this month. What do I care? It's like, okay, I'll work Christmas. No big deal. I've worked New Year's, Christmas, but man, working night shift is just, there's something sweet about working night shift. There's just something nice about it. Yeah, it's called Nobody Else Is Around. You got the bosses bugging your ass and shit. Worst shift I worked, swing shift. I hated swing shift. That was the worst teams because half your time is with the stupid people and your stupid bosses you don't want to even be around. And you're like, you're sitting there looking at the schedule when they're supposed to go home, and it's kind of like, get the fuck out of here. It's like, you don't belong here anymore. This is my time.
You know, when I had a job, I preferred working morning, like the 9 to 5 or 8 to 4.
Well, I like the way I can do my schedule now. I get to choose. I'm told what I have to accomplish during the week, and I can spend my time doing it whenever I want. So if I want to take a 6-hour break in the middle of the day, I'm allowed to.
That's a good time for a good nap, good sleep.
Or, picking up your kids from school, taking them out to dinner, helping them with homework, and then taking them back to their moms.
Why would you do anything like that?
No, because I like my kids. I take it back. I love my kids. I don't like my kids sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to correct you on that, man. It's like, whoa.
Son of a bitch.
One of the funny things about, because of the way my kids are, when I have one of my pictures I keep on my phone is of all 4 of my kids with me and Mrs. Vile.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that 2 of my kids are not related to me or Mrs. Vile at all, people look at them and they're like, oh, they look just like you guys.
So, MB, are you caught up in Percy Jackson?
No, I haven't. No, dude, I'm going to catch up on that after we get through, after Monarch and For All Mankind. I'll take a look at it then.
Okay. I'll probably do the same thing. I'm not really interested in Percy Jackson. I never read the books. I know Caddy did. I don't know if any of the other Vile kids did.
I did. But I very much enjoyed them. I am not overly happy with one of the characters being not a redhead.
Oh.
Yeah, that bothers me. I don't know why we can't just let gingers in roles anymore.
Because gingers have no souls.
Yeah, they do. What do you think all those freckles are for?
Watch out! You're gonna get the heat of the ginger cabal up here.
Wait, does that mean they'll be watching so my view rates will go up so I might get more subscribers?
I don't know. She was in the chat earlier.
Oh, you're referring to a specific ginger. Okay.
Like the doctor said, still not ginger.
Still never been ginger.
I know.
Oh, what did it be? Am I ginger? Oh, what did it be ginger? Then the next one, still not ginger.
At least RTD made a little joke, inside joke about that. So I'm not the first redhead companion.
There is that.
You know that the actress who plays Ace, I had no idea she was on X. I accidentally found her. I'm like, holy shit! Seriously?
Oh, you found the
She did
professor's
porn?
companion.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, that's what she referred to him as. She always referred to him as the professor.
And she did in the 60th as well.
You know, I have not watched this latest Doctor Who. I caught the, I haven't gotten around to finishing the 3 specials. I did because I heard all the controversy that was going around. I watched the, what was it, Giggle. And I had to be honest. I was like, that's actually kind of smart if you think about it. Because if you go back to, I believe, the 50th, remember how the doctor, when Tom Baker came in and he's like, maybe you take on some of the old favorite faces, who knows? And it was kind of like, okay, maybe
Familiar
this
faces.
is, well, what was the,
Sometimes some favorites.
yeah. So think about that. It was basically implied the doctor is eventually going to become the curator. And one of the things that was very, very prominent in the series, even in the beginning, is what is a doctor always doing? He's always running. Well, now he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be the doctor anymore. He wasn't the doctor when he was the war doctor. And if you actually listen to those, if you get a chance, you should listen to those blue finish of, oh shit, why am I forgetting his damn name who played the war doctor?
Hurt.
John Hurt.
Yeah, Sir John Hurt. He actually, those were pretty damn good. You'd be amazed how annoyed he got when people would call him the doctor. He's like, I'm not the doctor anymore.
You know, when Shooty asked Russell how should he play the character, his response was, relaxed. He's all happy and gay. That's why Shooty made the announcement. It's going to be the gayest incarnation of Doctor. And people misunderstood his reference because the dude's British.
He might be the
He's
happiest.
happy. Yeah, people misunderstood the reference and go, oh no, this guy's too gay. Like, there's no indication that the Doctor's homosexual. Gay meant happy when he made that statement, people. It's the vernacular. People are refusing to watch because of that one comment he made. I'm like, no, you vernacular people. There's no indication that the Doctor is now homosexual. He's just happy. He has carefree. He has no more worries. That's on the 14th. This is the happy Doctor. He's relaxed. He's chilled.
So, you're saying he's a sorry, hold on. So you're saying he's a Flintstone having a gay old time?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I mean, why not? I mean, maybe that was the split he needed there. And also, it would kind of tie in, and I haven't still seen all of Jodie Whittaker's. I've only gotten
same here.
2. I think I've gotten 1 or 2 episodes. And look, I got other shows I'm watching right now that I don't have time to get back to, but it's not like I can't get back to it and I'm going to miss anything. That I don't know how to reference it and I don't know what happens. But so I know there's supposed to be another doctor that shows up, like a future version that was a black woman. I was like, maybe that's another incarnate. Maybe that is Shushi's.
She's a past Doctor. The woman's a past Doctor incarnation.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
They say that, but I don't know if it's necessarily true.
I heard one theory that it was like, I don't know, I forgot it, but anyway, I don't know anything about that part. I didn't mind the first season of Jodie Whittaker's run as a doctor. I actually like her companions very much.
I like Dan, although I do need closed caption to hear what he's saying sometimes.
Well, I always do everything in closed. I do almost every show I watch in closed caption. My wife did. My wife got me on that about 5-6 years ago. And at first I found it annoying. And then I was like, damn, look at all this dialogue I couldn't hear.
A couple years ago, they played a trope on that when there was a scene. He was with a woman. He's like, she goes, I can't understand half the things you say. And he goes, yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, a friend of mine who has, well, at the time she had kids that were younger than catty, but now they've got kids that are about the same age as mine. But she allowed her kids to watch whatever TV they wanted, but it had to be on mute with the closed captioning on.
That doesn't make a lot of
And
sense.
it was a way for her to get her kids to read more.
Yeah, it helps. It helps.
Well, that's what the idea came for us. The idea came for us was because when my son used to struggle reading. He had struggle with his speech when he was young, and he had trouble reading. And we were researching it. My wife turned on the subtitles for him and said, "Listen and read the subtitles," and that really helped him learn how to read. And so, for example, like when Zelda Breath of the Wild came out, he needed help reading pretty much everything. And then when the next Zelda came out, he didn't need any help at all, except for maybe some awkward words that, just were even complicated. There was just awkward words he wasn't used to seeing. But overall, he beat the game. He had no problem. He learned how to navigate and read IGN, the map, and all that stuff. So it came a long way. It came a long way.
Yeah, that's one thing I haven't got a chance to play was Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I still haven't played it. If I buy a Switch, that'll be the first and probably only game I buy for a long time.
No, buy both. If you do buy it, buy both of them.
Well, I will eventually, but I'm just saying because I haven't played Breath of the Wild and I really want to.
I think you'll be in for a treat, buddy.
And the last game I played was Star Wars Battlefront. It was on sale, $3.
I haven't been in the mood to play a game in a long time.
I'm really good at the flying, but being Luke Skywalker sucks. It's kind of hard with that force jumps, very limited. The best character to play with I found is either a Stormtrooper or Palpatine.
Okay.
Rebels can't fire worth shit. Their guns are crap, but the Stormtroopers' guns are better, and Palpatine's the best dark force user.
I had Battlefront, and I didn't care for it. I was like, this sucks.
The easiest mission to do is take down the AT-ATs.
Yeah, but still, I mean, actually, I got to get a joystick because I got my stream downloaded, and I want to play. I bought the old X-Wing and TIE Fighter games from the 90s. I just need to get a freaking. Well, actually, I wonder if my PS4 joystick would work and would be compatible with. I wonder if I could actually work that with this hard drive, with this new computer. It didn't work with my laptop very well, but maybe I can go in and adjust the settings on the.
Well, I don't know, but I use an Xbox 360 controller when I play a lot of my games on my laptop.
Yeah, I couldn't get the joystick to work on this one. It just kept getting everything was in the wrong order, but I was also frustrated and stuff, so I didn't really take the time to do it. So actually, now that I think about it, when we ever going to play Risk again? Bird.
I don't know. I don't have the
Good
game anymore
question.
installed.
I have the game in my library, but I don't have it installed on this computer anymore.
Yeah,
but I have all. Yeah, but guys, I don't know if you remember. I have the game downloaded. I have the game installed. I have pretty much every map.
Well, I tell you what, if you give me a couple of days warning, maybe I can take some time off and play it with you. But I need to know what time to actually set it up so I have time to install it.
Yeah, I got to reinstall it.
I mean, if you don't want to run a live stream on it, either me or
we can absolutely do a live stream on it. We can do it on my channel. My channel ain't doing anything else.
That's fine by me.
So let's see what I got. Can I mute this thing? Can you mute stream?
Yeah, right click the tab and hit mute the tab.
Yeah, without
site.
muting. Yeah, without muting you guys though.
Oh.
Yeah, because I got 272 hours played. I need to get back into playing this game. I had so much fun. I actually had it for a while. I was on hard. I had to go to hard for some of these levels because I was like, the AI was just getting too freaking predictable. I was like, I'm watching this game. I'm watching the game go on, and I'm like, yep, he's gonna attack there. He's gonna attack there. They're gonna attack there. I'm like, you guys are just playing into my hand. Yeah, I got so for me, I got Cards, Mega Collection, Risk, Star Trek Online. I don't know if I'll ever play that. Star Trek, Starfleet Command Gold Edition. That's a personal favorite of mine. TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance, X-Wing Special Edition, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Those are the games I really want to play again.
Oh, hold on. Where?
Yes,
Shoot.
Spider-Man is for sale on the PlayStation.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll mute
a
myself
little
while I'm
bit,
looking at this.
not heavily, but yes, I can hear it.
Oh, NB, try if you have the PlayStation, try Dragon Age Inquisition Deluxe Edition. It's only $4. It's in a very expensive game. One guy said he sped around it and beat it in 86 hours with about 4 to 5 hours of sleep. So it's a very expensive game.
Shoot me the name of it, okay? Because I'm gonna probably forget.
I'll put it in a public chat for you. There you go.
Oh man, there's new maps out. And I got 8,000 plus rubies to spend.
Let's see what game is on sale right now. All games. Hey, well, I gotta filter this damn thing. Yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales is on sale for $20. That's a pretty good deal. It's a $50 game. And Injustice 2 is on sale for $3. But you should try that Dragon Age. I was thinking about getting it.
I've played it, but I played it either on the PS3 or the Xbox 360. I can't remember. And I had the DLCs, but I didn't play the DLCs. But yeah, I've bought and sold that game probably a dozen times or more.
Yeah, it's on sale for $4 on the PlayStation Store. I mean, I already beat all the Arkham Batmans. I'm like, okay, what else can I try to play? I got the Star Wars Battlefront. I'm like, this is a little boring.
Yeah, I kind of hate you, Elihu, because you're playing these games and you're watching these shows, and I still haven't beat Fallout 4.
See, I think Fallout 4 is on sale right now.
I already own it.
And what did you say this is on, Elihu? The PlayStation?
Yes.
Okay, because I do have a PlayStation.
Yeah.
All right, so Fallout
I
4
bought
came out in. Hold on, Fallout 4 came out in 2015, and I still haven't fucking beat it. It's now almost 10 years old, and I haven't beat it, and I own it on 3 different console and PC. I own it on Xbox One, I own it on PS4, and I own it on computer, and I still haven't beat it.
Fallout. Oh, oops, I had 5. Okay, let's see. Fallout 4. $20.
As I said, I already own it.
So I just bought for my expansion pack and Risk. I got Vikings edition now. That was a new one. So, well, I'm gonna play that later myself. Yes, I'm gonna play with myself.
Yeah, Low Spec, I made the same joke when he was talking about Battlefront 1 and 2. When he was last talking about it, I'm like, oh, you're talking about the ones on the PlayStation, right? You know, the PlayStation 2. And he's like, no, I'm talking about the new ones.
Yeah, that might actually be fun, guys. Doing the Viking era for Risk. I have to set that up. Maybe I should just start setting up my streams for Risk game time, just so we can hang out and play Risk. Anybody shows up, they show up.
Well, if you use StreamYard's, enable cross streaming, so I'll stream it too.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I can do
Like
that
right
too.
now, I have it set up for cross streaming, and Elihu's streaming this on his YouTube and his Twitter accounts.
I was thinking of streaming it on Instagram, but I'm like, nah. I got more followers on X.
Because right now I can only stream to 3 places myself. It's going to my Facebook, the store's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Even though I don't think I have that many followers on Twitch.
I think I remember Bird being somewhat of a beast on Risk. I think he won more than he lost.
Classic Battlefront. Yeah, the Stormtroopers are easy because they got the jetpack. You can jump and shoot. Hello. That's why I don't like playing Rebels in the Star Wars Battlefront. We all know that. We all know that, not Ryan Johnson. You have to say facts. Stop stating facts, man.
Oh, one stupid thing, just because I was thinking about dumb people now. This came up, this brought it to me. It's like somebody was like, well, you can't shoot somebody who jumps out of an airplane to attack you unless they're on the ground. I'm like, the fuck I can't.
Target practice.
I'm like, buddy, why would I give him a chance?
I'm like, hey,
do you think that's really? He goes, do you think that's really fair though? I was like, who gives a fuck about fair? It's called war.
Hey, in my mind, I heard somebody yell, pull.
Yeah. My stomach's really bothering me. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not cheating because I win.
It's cheating because you don't get caught cheating.
That's how it works.
Sorry, I forgot that I'd muted myself because I had a sneeze coming, and then I was trying to talk. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or should I just end the stream? Because as I said, I want to take a nap.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the same. Yeah, that yawn there. Yeah, dude, I'm looking at taking a nap myself.
Yeah, I got nothing to talk about.
Nap sounds good.
All right. So, which should I end with? And yes, I'm going to warn you guys to lower your volume or take off your headphones in Elihu's case.
Oh,
so which one should I play? Which one should I play?
I'm just going to head out now. Blah.
All right.
I think everybody likes open Klingon style.
All right.
Singing for voices.
Hail the Klingons, hoorah! Open Klingon style. Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Hey, sexy Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Hey, sexy Klingon style.
You said you was going to warn me.
All right. You're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining.
Ouch, I'm deaf. And we are still live.
Because he forgot to hit the end button.
And
Is
he's
that-
muted. And Kronos finally showed up. Yeah, Kronos was supposed to end the stream, but Mike did not hit end, and he's muted.
All right, you're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining.
All right, we had to see it again. Okay,
I
All right.
guess.
I'm gonna head out, guys.
Can't end the stream until he actually shows up and ends the stream.
Yeah, I know, but I gotta head out.
Ay. Sorry, Kronos. I don't know what's going on here. It's not a CNA stream unless something goes wrong, and something finally went wrong. Yeah, I know.